Hello, I am live and I am 3 minutes early. I don't know if that makes a difference, but here I am live for my first Ask Me Anything question and answer session. Anything at all about reselling, consignment, anything about eBay, Poshmark. I'm here to share what I know. And we'll see if anybody comes on the live feed. Since I'm so new at this, I don't really have a big following yet, but I am looking forward to that changing over time and in due course as I do more videos and show people that I am here and ready to share what I know all about consignment, reselling, Poshmark, and eBay. So it looks like we have one person who's joined in, which is fantastic. So if I can find out who it is, I won't be talking to myself here anymore. I'll be talking to them. So if you want to say hello in the chat, hello, whoever you are. There you are. Thank you for being here. So somebody gave me a thumbs up and is looking in. It's Flippin' Hustler. No way. It's Batman. Yeah, Batman to save the day. Hey, Flippin' Hustler. How are you doing? I'm so excited that you're here and checking it out. I got my first thumbs up. You are the first viewer, just like the first time. Yeah. I've seen a few of your videos now, your morning watch me work thing. You're braver than I am to have someone watch you. How was that wedding? I saw a little bit. You went to a wedding. You were all like in a suit and tux or something with your daughter. That was cool. Yeah, weddings are fun. As I get older, they just don't happen as often. That's for sure. It's more about people getting out of marriages than getting into them. You get a certain age. Oh, good. It was fun. Yeah, I like it because they're happy occasions. And the last wedding I went to was 2 years ago, and it was in Florida. And I went there. I was living in California at the time, and so one of my dear friends got married out there. So it was so much fun. And then it's over in a flash. Hey, it's Key Lime Kisses. Oh my gosh. Like these are two people who've heard me before. Hey, Keyline. Hey, how are you? She watched me the other night, was the only person, was like my solo viewer. That was awesome. She got a private audience of my haul. Yeah. Wow, look at that. Two of y'all. This is exciting. So the topic of this haul is Ask Me Anything. So hopefully y'all will ask me a question. One that will allow me to, that's not a yes, no, that will allow me to expout, is that a word? Espouse. Talk a lot, basically. I love your channel and think you need way more subs, girl. I do too. Me too. I need some more subscribers. I'm up to 90 now. I'm really excited about that. I want to get to 100. So if y'all have any ideas about how to do that, let me know. Flippin' Hustlers, to be credited for getting me like 20 people subscribed after he shared something out. So he's a big part of my growing channel. So thank you. I'm so glad you like the channel. And how did you like your private live the other day? That was funny. It was your own one. So yeah, I'm here to talk. It's like a Q&A, but I just thought I'd call it Ask Me Anything since everybody else says Q&A. So this is it. Anything you want to know. I just got back from boxing, so I'm kind of all cashed out right now and look a mess, but be that as it may. He's the one that sent me here. Oh, that's terrific. Well, that's fantastic. Loved it, of course. Great. I'm so glad you did. Yeah, I was pretty excited about those pieces. The latest things to come in are all Moschino pieces that are for my vintage Moschino collection. They're all pretty cool and unique pieces, pretty rare. And ordered some more today. And so I'm really excited to get those in. So my showroom this morning, looking around, seeing what I had. So that was pretty cool. And then off I went to the consignment shop. So it's sort of like I just shift gears. It's like driving a stick shift. One minute it's reselling at JennieGirls Closet, the next minute it's luxury consignment. So somebody's got to ask me a question because I am talking to myself and to you guys on my Ask Me Anything. So is there anything y'all want to know? Anything I can share my knowledge on? Just let me know. I do have 2 thumbs up, which is fantastic. 5 minutes in. Oh, it's 6 minutes, just about 6 minutes into the video. Flippin' Hustler. Hello, number 1. What does that mean? Hey, kids. Hello, number 1. Okay. Not sure what that means, but hey. And so, yeah. You know, I felt so stupid after I left here saying I saw the Moschino Spring show. It wasn't. I was totally wrong on that. Oh, really? Then what did you see, if that's not what it was? What was it that you saw? Tell me. I see the shows on video. Some of the early, some of those early Moschino shows are hilarious. I mean, not Moschino. Sorry, I'm getting it confused with Thierry Mugler. Some of those first Thierry Mugler shows, where they literally are prancing down the runway and like, I don't know, flipping clothes around like lassos. Key Lime was my very first subscriber, so I call. It is a woman, isn't it? Isn't Key Lime a woman? Call he number 1. Give me a sec. I watch so many. Her. Okay, just checking. Phew. Had to get my genders right. You can't tell by people's YouTube handles exactly what their gender is. So it's gender fluidity here at the YouTube channel. So yeah, I did get some Moschino pieces today, and I have a whole some that I'm returning because the condition is wrong. And what I've learned is that you just have to be patient to get it in good condition. And you don't always know what you're getting until it arrives. So I have a whole pile to return. And it's one set I really, really like, but I don't want it at any price in that condition. So back it goes. So yeah. Flippin' Hustler, 2 of y'all. So do you have any questions, Todd, at all from me? Someone ask me a question, please. I guess I'll just start talking if nobody asks me a question. We'll talk about selling on Poshmark. You want to do that? So what I've done selling on Poshmark versus eBay is, at first I just put everything up there, and I didn't have any rhyme or reason for it. I didn't. I really don't. Just shoot from the hip. All right, cool. So when I first joined Poshmark, I didn't use it. It took me years to use it, and I finally started using it when my eBay sales started to slow. And I thought, it can't hurt. Let's just try it and see what happens. Dave Segal. Okay, no, we're close. Very different. So I tried Poshmark in the beginning just to supplement eBay because my sales had stalled and I didn't know why. And that was back when a lot of people were talking about things had changed on eBay and they had no idea what was going on, and it was a noticeable drop off. And so that's when I started using Poshmark. And once I started using Poshmark, of course, I had that first sale. Was a Rolling Stone t-shirt. Then I was like, okay, I can actually sell something. So then I started listing more things, and then I started challenging myself to get as much inventory as possible up on Poshmark, and then really tried to figure out how to use the app. I heard there was this thing called an ambassador. So I figured if I was going to use a platform, I would master it. So in order to do that on Poshmark, you've really got to become a Poshmark ambassador is one of the steps in mastering that platform. So I did that, and I worked really hard, sharing and sharing, and you had to buy something. Do you abide by the whole social sharing and such? Well, here's the thing. You cannot sell well on Poshmark without sharing. It's like night and day. You have to be active on the app. You have to share. You have to list items, just like eBay. The algorithm is, I'm assuming, is very similar to eBay, because when you list on Posh, you sell on Posh. And same thing with eBay. So, it's like fresh eyes, fresh algorithm. I don't, it's really Posh is sort of, it's like having an addiction, like needing to smoke a cigarette all the time, is that you need to share all the time. And so what I do is I find myself it's a compulsion. I'll wake up, I'll share. I'm standing in line at the post office, I'll share. I don't schedule shares at this point because it's just, my schedule doesn't allow that. And it feels like a bit of a waste of time to be like, I'm going to do nothing else but share for an hour. I have too many other things that I'm working on. So I pretty much fit the sharing in between everything else. But I did notice once I hit ambassador, things started to shift. And then I told myself, I'm not going to quit doing the things that they said to do to be ambassador just because I made it. Because, there's that point at which you are relieved because you did all the sharing, and then like you're exhausted and you're like, okay, I don't have to share. But then you realize that that's not a good way to look at it, that you have to keep doing what they've asked you to do, and that all of those things are the key really to being successful in Poshmark. Let's see, I have a store but have never listed out of fear of the whole sharing concept. I would rather list and let Jesus take the wheel. It's weird because fear is an interesting word to use because you have nothing to lose. So you have nothing to lose by putting something up there and in hoping that someone finds it via a search and not from you constantly sharing. It's just there's millions and millions and millions of listings. And when you analyze the stats that they have publicly given, I think I overheard from the Posh Fest that, they put a lot of those seminars live on their Facebook page. And since I couldn't go, I watched as much as I could for free. And, they were saying there's something like 18 million listings a day. I mean, seriously, 18 million listings a day that go up there. So how in the world is someone going to see your stuff with 18 million listings moving around on that site all day long? And I think the best way and the best chance that you have is to share. And the only way I became successful on Poshmark was to become active by sharing my things, active by sharing other people's things, active by following everyone who followed me. I have about, I think 85,000 followers now. And, each time I reach a milestone, I'm like, okay, I got 85. I can't wait to get 90. And then I'll be 95. Then it'll be 100,000. And you definitely see a difference when you have a larger subscriber base, but only if you're sharing. That's the thing. You've got to share. Talk me into it. Yeah, I want to be the voice of reason, because if you want to be successful in Poshmark, they're really funny about how they tell you to do what you need to do to be successful. They infer and imply, but never come out and say it. So if you look at all of the things that you had to do to become a Poshmark ambassador, sharing your closet, sharing other people's closets, welcoming new people, buying on the site, all those things. I think that when you do that, you'll see a change. And there's absolutely nothing to be afraid of. I mean, there's no fee if nothing sells. And I really like the fact that it's a final sale. I love the fact on Poshmark that you really don't have to worry about giving your money back, because on eBay, I had a really good month, and the next thing you know, I have an $800 jacket getting returned. Now, do you think that $800 was sitting in my account? No, man, I'd already spent it. So I had to somehow sell $800 worth of stuff so I could do the return, and then sell more to make up for that. So the fact that you never get your money on Poshmark until the sale is complete is a beautiful thing. I just can't say how wonderful that is, because I've had some very untimely returns on eBay, and they say you should always leave that money in there until you know that the sale is good. But I think with a lot of resellers, we live on that money. It's cash flow, and so it's a really good in theory. I love the theory, but I'm not adhering to it. I'm definitely taking that money out the minute it comes there, and hoping that there's not a return. So that's kind of how I do that. But yeah, Poshmark, do not be afraid of that. You've just got to get going. And one of the easiest things you can do to build followers is simply go down the Who's Followed You list every single day and just follow back those people. You can go to the recommended find people section and just follow all the ambassadors. You just keep going back and refreshing. You just click, click, click. You can follow people in your hometown. You can follow people who have brands that are selling brands that you also have in your store, so they're more likely to be a customer for you. There's lots of ways you can follow people on Poshmark, but you really need to be engaged on there and following people back. Let's see, but you have truly good fashion finds, which is what most people want. What I would say to you, Key Lime Kisses, is that you need to think about sourcing online. I have done a ton and continue to do a lot of online sourcing. And I don't just mean eBay. I mean Mercari and Etsy and ThreadUp. There's so many places now online that if you can kind of determine what it is that sells well for you, I would just start looking for it. Let's see. Keyline Kisses says, I've thought about maybe saving up for some boutique items, wholesale, and trying that. Oy vey. Okay. Yeah, why not? Give it a try. What can it doesn't hurt anything. I have my own Jennie Girl brand, which is the logo that you see in this, with my closet. And I have my own brand is trademarked. And the reason I don't put it in the boutique right now is I don't have any inventory. But I think it's a wonderful thing to try. You have nothing to lose, whether it's your own brand or someone else's. But here's the thing about boutique. You are not going to have the margins that you have buying non-boutique. And if I'm paying a wholesaler to buy a whole bunch of black floppy hats that the market rate is $15 on eBay, and millions or thousands of other people are selling it, I mean, that's the problem with the boutique and the wholesale system that they provide is it's everyone has access to it. And I think boutique would be better served as something you buy outside of Poshmark, like at the, they have all these apparel marts. They have a big one in Atlanta. They have them in New York. And you find the apparel mart basically and look about wholesaling something there that's really different. And not the same products that everyone else has. I think that would be one way to do it, which is why I really want to put my Jennie Girls closet in the boutique versus buying someone else's. Oh boy. Key Lime Kisses, I spent 16 years in New York City. And all kinds of little pithy statements will come out of my mouth, including oy vey, because it's a learned phrase. It's a learned phrase from being in New York for so long. I'm a nice little sweet Southern girl, so I shouldn't even know what oy vey means. But you do live in New York for a while, and you'll learn all kinds of things. But yeah, Key Lime, you just need to just start getting active. Even if it's just, wake up in the morning, spend 15 minutes on it, pull out your phone when you're standing in lines at the dry cleaner or something. Just start, like Nike says, just do it. I say just start. Just give it a go. And I was just like you. I had very few followers, and I think pushing myself to become an ambassador was the key to really becoming active on Poshmark. But I have 85,000 followers now, and that's a whole lot of people who clicked follow on my store, and I am starting to have repeat buyers, and that's really, really exciting. So if you think of your followers like the old-fashioned catalog, you remember when you used to get a catalog in the mail, and now we build email lists. So to me, it's somewhere between a catalog and an email list is your followers. And that's a group of people you can continue to have see the new merchandise that you bring in. And another thing to think about on Poshmark is um, finding some sort of unique way to curate your closet. Some people aren't interested in curating at all. Good for them. For me, I'm putting a big focus on curating my closet. If I took out all the inventory that doesn't really go, I don't want to do that because I want to sell it through, because that means if I take it off, then I can only sell it on eBay, and that kind of limits me. But I'm not adding new things on that don't match the aesthetics of my closet and the girl that I'm trying to reach. So that's where I am with Poshmark. So there you have it. Oh, I got box in here today. Yeah. Whew. Sorry about that. I sold a vintage Kurt Cobain t-shirt for $250 today. Are you serious? That is flippin' hustler. You're crushing it. Now, where did you flippin' hustler? Where did you get the t-shirt? Where'd you find it? I mean, I forgot about Kurt Cobain being so popular. I kind of forgot about him completely, to be honest, until you put the name up there. But those rocker tees, those vintage ones, they really bring a lot of money. So we will wait for Flippin' Hustler to tell us more. Oh, I know. Yeah, you do. Of course you do. I know a guy. I know a guy too. I wonder if this is the same one. I wonder. I know a guy. Yeah, I mean, I look for t-shirts, but not actively. So smell like Teen Spirit. Absolutely. It's shame when they die young like that, but that's how they become legends. Unfortunately, you don't get to be legendary and then live to be 100, It's really sad how that works. So yeah, so that's Poshmark. So Key Lime, what else can I tell you about Poshmark? I'm on it every day. I'm doing really well. I'm at I've sold like $15,000 worth so far on Poshmark, and that's after starting with one $15 Rolling Stone T-shirt was the first thing to sell, which is ironic because I don't even buy T-shirts. Like, really? I mean, I look from now, but that's a lot of money on one platform. And I didn't make it in 1 month or anything, but I've kind of built up to that. So from one little T-shirt to 15,000, that's pretty good. I have a reseller friend that has a good eye and a treasure trove of awesomeness. Aw, I have a reseller friend. That'd be good with a regular friend too. To have a treasure trove of awesomeness. Yeah. So eBay is I don't know what is going on with eBay. I mean, all these changes is really, basically my sales have almost stopped completely. I sold two things on eBay I think yesterday or last night. I'm selling like one little thing. It's just unbelievable. Now, April is such a good month for everybody. I mean, tax return season. Historically, it's an excellent month. Spring break, people have a lot of money. So I'm hoping that translates with Poshmark and eBay, but there's no guarantee at all. And I do not know what the deal is with the lighting here. So let me see if I can fix something. No, I don't see anything fixed. I'm going back to source from his inventory very soon. Well, Flippin' Hustler, I think if you can get a t-shirt that sells for $250, that is someone I would see all the time. Absolutely. So yeah, so eBay is super slow for me. I am hoping, I really am not interested in paying any more fees. I'm not interested in doing a big promoted listing or anything like that. I just really have a problem with that. I do have 1% on all my listings, just so that I can do it and get that second listing. But I really, really don't like it. I tried for the first time the offer to buyers feature on eBay, and I had no results, and one person had a question, and that was it. So, I don't know how long it's going to take for this offer to buyers to take foothold on eBay, but it hasn't worked for me yet, but I'm hopeful. Let's see. So yeah, what else can I tell you about selling on eBay? eBay versus Poshmark, they are completely different. I treat them differently. I don't want to stop selling on eBay. My goal is to have everything on more than one platform and eventually be on multiple platforms. I think I mentioned a company called Sellhound that is in the process of beta testing a new service where they will create listings for you. And their system will allow you to push it out to eBay as well as all the other platforms. But they're working on eBay first to make sure that it works. It's in beta testing, and once it works on eBay, they'll rope in the other places like Poshmark. And when that happens, it's approximately $1.50. That price could change for them to create a listing for you that's search engine optimized and all of that. And all you do is send them photos. And then you have the power to add to those listings or not, and then push them out to as many platforms as you like. And the fee, my understanding is that the fee is only in them creating the listing for you, and there's not like a monthly fee or anything. But that could change as they go through their beta testing program and figure out the economics of all of that and the business model. So multiple platforms. Right now, I've just started a new account with StockX. They started out with tennis shoes, and they've expanded into handbags. They've expanded into watches and small leather goods. And so I have just created an account for my luxury consignment shop, Walker Viden, and we're about to start listing on StockX. It's really interesting because that it's stockx.com. So StockX is really interesting. If you haven't checked it out, they only take things that are new or in like new condition. And so that limits the amount of inventory that they can sell. And what they do is you don't even have to take pictures because they use stock photos. So they use stock photos for everything, and all you do is say, oh, I have one of those, and I'm asking $2,000 for it, and then you get to, if someone will make offers, public offers on the thing, at the point at which you can just say, yes, I want 2,000, someone's offering me 17, I'll take it, that kind of thing, like the stock market, which is where they get their name from. And I'm having a few technical glitches with it, but there's 2 items we're going to be listing this week. And the idea is to get about 20 of them listed, because we only have 20 things in our consignment shop that qualify, because they only take 19 brands. So it's a very, very limited pool there. But I'm really excited to be on yet another platform, because I think that these platforms are like silos. And the customer who's on StockX is not the same customer on eBay, which is not the same customer on Poshmark, which is not the same customer on Etsy, which is not the same customer as Mercari or Tradesy. I mean, each of these platforms has their own individual community that they've built, and they're not on everyone. Key lime kisses. Yeah, it's called StockX. And Flippin' Hustler, he's super selective. Either he is or they are. Yeah, StockX is really selective. I think because they started with tennis shoes and streetwear, and then they very carefully started expanding, and that's why they don't just take everything, because they didn't start the same way as eBay. So they're carefully expanding, their base. Have you ever sold on Mallory's? I have not, and I have no idea what it is. So educate me, Key Lime Kisses, on what in the heck Mallory's is. I've never heard of it. I guess I could do a Google search. What is a Mallory's? Let's see. Mallory's. Mallory's, there it is. Buy and sell authentic designer handbags from premier designers. Mallory's. There it is. I've never heard of it. Now, do you know where they're based? Key Lime, where are they based? It's an upscale consignment shop. Oh, it's just a consignment shop. Got it. Wow. So it's just a consignment shop that happens to be online. Interesting. I've never sold. I didn't know you could. So anyone can sell on a Mallory's. Is that it? It's awesome, and I have no idea. Okay. Mallory's. Well, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to right now like their Facebook page so I can remember Mallory's. And I'm going to make a note to figure out what this is. I'm going to send an email to myself. So thank you. Just say, look into Mallory's. Let's see. To myself. Mallory's. Okay, I sent myself an email. Perfect. I will do that. So, yeah, I don't know if it's consignment. Yeah, I'm just not clear if anyone can upload on there, or if it needs to be certain people. So I'm not clear about that. Yeah, I don't know about Mallory. So thank you. There's so many sites popping up now. It's really, really interesting. So yeah, hold on. So let me get back. I've lost you on my computer. Here we go. Sorry about that. So yeah. So wow, I've got 2 of y'all on my live. Ask me anything, and there's very little that people want to know. Flip and hustle. I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble if nobody's asking any questions. So yeah. So so I went over Poshmark, went over eBay, went over StockX. Let's see. Key Lime Kisses says, I know you can get some good deals on items. I purchased some sunglasses. They've been around a long time. Okay. Well, this whole consignment industry has been around since the 1940s or the 50s. The first one opened up in New York. And one of the first ones is called Michael's Consignment. If you ever get to New York, they are fantastic. It's not like they're huge or anything like a big e-commerce company or anything. You have to understand brick and mortar consignment has been around for decades. It's only in recent years that it's become an e-commerce type of business for these consignment and thrift shops. So people like ThredUp, people like The Real Real. I mean, these are trailblazers in this field. And I know that there have been some smaller ones that were purchased and acquired by some of these other companies. But yeah, I mean, it's really fascinating that consignment has gone, e-commerce. Flippin', I need your encouragement, because I feel like it's harder than anyone realizes. I mean, now I know why you do a watch me work, because then you don't have to worry about what you're saying, because they're just going to watch you do what you're going to do anyway. I think that's genius. Absolutely genius. Have you purchased from ThreadUp? I did purchase from ThreadUp a few years ago a lot, because this was before they became in the mainstream and before they launched their luxury division called Luxe. And basically people didn't know about them. And so it was a nice little online secret, and I was getting all kinds of good bargains there. And now that everybody I say everybody, but so many more people know about them, and they have a consignment division, their pricing has changed. So where you used to be able to get a really, really good deal, you can't anymore. But you still can. But here's the trick on ThreadUp. So when you use the Lux program or any of the other programs, when you mail your things in, they will give you a buy it outright price. So if you don't want to go through the consignment process, they'll say you've sent in 10 items. I'll give you $5.59 for this item, $44.29 for this item, 50 cents for this item, $25 for this item. And so it comes up to a total. So you have the choice to get an upfront payout from ThreadUp, or you can consign with them. And where they've done an upfront payout with someone, that is when the price of the item on their site is going to be much lower than where it's just a regular consignment. And because you have the right and the ability to go in there and change the pricing. So if they price something at $100, and I'm like, no way am I selling that for $100, I can go in there and price it to like $300 if I want in the Lux program. And many, many times their upfront offers are so terribly low, I don't even consider them, and make a lot more money when I sell it myself on consignment. And something that they gave me an upfront payout estimate on, I think it was a St. John jacket. They wanted to give me like $30, $40. I ended up selling it and making over $200 on the same jacket, like 220 something. So they know. They put it this way: if they're offering you at least $40 for something, you can pretty much guarantee it's something that sells well on the site and sells quickly, because they wouldn't do it otherwise. Let's see. I think the hours you are on is always hard to get. Absolutely. Key lime kisses. I'm going to try to start doing these in the morning. I'm going to be fresher. I won't have been through my whole day, but yeah, the timing is really, really bad, and I'm going to work on that. Flippin' Heather, I did a 4-hour show Monday solo. Yeah, just have to let the ideas and words flow. All right. I'm taking your word for it, Batman. I am taking your word. Also notice that you are not using hashtags on your video, and that may help resellers find you as well as people. What do you mean? Do you mean the live video while I'm live? I didn't know I could use a hashtag. So is that what you mean in the description? Because what happens is after it's over, that's when I put the hashtags in. So I didn't even know I could do it ahead of time. So is that what you mean? Putting hashtags in the description box? Because I can do that. That'd be simple. That'd be super simple. So yeah. Where was I? I've lost my train of thought. Yes. Okay. That is such a great idea. Thank you so much. Yeah. The Pacific is, I know for me, because I'm Pacific time, when people go on live late, I'm like excited, it's like you're on my time zone. I had about 500 subscribers when we met. Today I hit 784. Persist until you succeed. That is fantastic. Well, I'm one of those, so glad I could help you. I'll do the one thing that I can. It's interesting, this whole subscriber thing, because I have listened to so many different people's videos, and I find that no matter what somebody says, just when you think you've heard it all, there'll be a little nugget of something in their conversation that you have nothing about, that you've heard for the first time. And I think everyone can contribute to this conversation. Todd does deserve. He's. You know what else is Todd? Not to talk to key lime instead of you, but you're very charismatic and good on camera. You seem very at ease and very natural, and just also engaging, kind of charming with people, and you're just doing your thing, and you don't make it boring. So somehow you're able to do a conversation as you're like wrapping up your mug that needs bubble wrap. I think I saw. Is it something like that? Hey, I'll show you something. I'm drinking. I have a Starbucks hack that I'm going to tell you about. Oh, look, my nails need to be done. Okay. So, nice. I have a little Starbucks trick. How do you get 2 for 1 Starbucks? Tea. Okay, here's the trick. How do you get 2 Starbucks large teas instead of 1? Well, I learned this one day by accident, happy accident, is if you go to a Starbucks and you say, I'd like a large, I don't know if this is a grande or what this, I would like a large hot tea, Earl Grey, 1 bag in, 1 out. And what that means is when you get a large, you're not paying for the size of the cup. You're paying for the number of tea bags. So they give you 2 tea bags when you buy a large and 1 tea bag when you buy a medium or a small. And I found that out because they were putting 2 tea bags into my drink every time it was a large, and it was too dense. It was too heavy. And I'm like, y'all don't put in 2. I only need 1. It's too heavy. And the guy says, oh, well, we'll just give it to you because you've paid for it. And I said, well, what do you mean I've paid for it? He goes, well, you're paying per tea bag. So what they do is they give you 2 cups, right? So what I do is when I'm done with the first cup, I rinse it out, and then I, take the bottom one off, right? See, that's the new one. And then this one becomes my new cup. And then the old one, I put in the bottom. So I just switch them around. So that's how I get 2 Starbucks out of 1. But you got to ask 1 tea bag in, 1 out. That's what you ask for, and buy a large. And then you get 2. And obviously I have to make the water, but it's not that hard. I'm not a big cook, but I can boil water. So yeah, that's my, let's see, Flippin' Hustler. Yeah, I mean, you're good at that. Better than I am. And I'm going to look back at these videos and cringe one day. But you got to start somewhere. Nice. Near Starbucks is 20 miles away. Well, cheers to that. They changed their, you see this thing? I don't remember her face being so ever present on these things. But yeah. Yeah, there was a whole study. If you analyze her face, she's not symmetrical at all. There's a whole thing about how they studied and they studied and they studied the shape of this face. And if you see, her eyes are slightly different. And the mouth everything is just slightly off. And I read this article, and it said it was to make her be more appealing. And it's really interesting because when you study it, it certainly is not symmetrical. And you can see it, but there's something about it that's more appealing, so they said. So, yeah. So because I've run out of things to say, I'm going to show you the Moschino stuff that I'm returning and then I'm keeping, and I'm going to tell you why. So hold on, I'll be right back. All right. I put my office chair in here this time. I was on these other chairs, and I'm like, the only way I can do one of these is to change the chair. So I'm going to start with what I'm keeping. So one of the things I'm keeping, you can see behind me, is this beautiful jacket. this Moschino jacket, and this bustier piece is attached to the jacket. So I was really excited to find that. It's super cool. So these are some of my other pieces that I just got in that I'm going to be keeping. And so let me just show these to you. So these are vintage Moschino shorts. And so they've got the really cool vintage buttons on them. And, you know, they're like sailor shorts, and they button just like a sailor style would be. And they're by the Sheep and Chic version. So the old Sheep and Chic looks like this. It's kind of hidden. And there's, I put the Italian flag and my button on each piece in my showroom. So yeah, I mean, that's a keeper if you tell me. So this one, I'm on the fence about. So y'all can vote, but you don't have to tell me yet. I really like the plaid. This is Moschino Couture, but it's a vintage piece, and I don't have anything to go with it. Like, I don't have the matching jacket or anything. But I got this super cool plaid skirt. It's a wool crepe. And it's just, you know, the length of this skirt is that 90s length. You know what I mean? It's not a pencil style. It's not super short. It's that sort of in between. This is Moschino Couture. So because there's no heart in the middle of this, you know it's a little early. It's a little newer than like the vintage pieces. So not sold on this. I like it a lot, but I'm not sold on it. So y'all can tell me later what you think. These are just amazing. I'm having a stroke over these Moschino pants. These I'm definitely going to keep. That's for sure. And these were new with tags, which is fantastic. So these are tuxedo pants. I put them back here, that are plaid. And they've got the stripe down the side. You can see that. It's the back. Brand new with tags from Saks Fifth Avenue, over $1,000 new. These are unbelievable. I love this. You can get on for a video shoot or a photo shoot with the black kind of satin. So this I'm definitely keeping because it's amazing. Now this one I've got to stand up to show you. This is a really, really fantastic piece. Hold on. This is like a runway piece. This is a vintage Moschino Couture. And the reason I'm going to show you, educate you how you know this is an older one and more desirable, is because of the tag on the inside. And so you'll see there's a little heart. See, there's a little heart that says Moschino Couture, and that's vintage. But look at this thing. This is a gigantic full-length skirt. It's got crinoline underneath. And this is this beautiful silk plaid. Just you know, it's like a 50s style, and it's long. It's all the way to the ground. And super full. And this is something that I can get on, probably for a photo shoot. Would be amazing. And, because it's going to fit all those models. But, like, this is something that you would probably put with, like, a cropped top or a turtleneck to make it modern. But it's in really, for its age, it's in pretty darn good shape. And just very, very substantial and super thick and ginormous, and it's as big as I am. So I'm definitely keeping that. So let me show you what I'm sending back, and I'm going to tell you why. So this I really paid a lot of money for, and it's not about the price, but I just didn't love it, and it's also one of the newer pieces. So this is the newer Moschino label. And this jacket is basically a wool jacket with safety pins all over it, which I love. But what I don't love is it is asymmetrical. And so one side has these gathers all up in by the buttons. I don't know if you can see it. And then the other side kind of has gathers into the collar. And so, and the bottom of it is a little wonky too. So they did that on purpose, is that they wanted it to be off center and they wanted it to be gathered. But in person, it just looks like it's off. And so I'm afraid that I'm just afraid it's going to be a hard sell because it's just a little too wonky, right? And so I just don't love it. There's nothing wrong with it. I would love to keep it if money weren't an issue. Just keep everything. But I just don't think this is special enough, as awesome as it is, because what I'm really like more are the true vintage pieces. These newer ones will eventually be vintage, but that's going back. Now this one I was on the fence about, but again, it's a newer piece. It's not that, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. It's why I bought it, but it's just black, hold on, black wool jacket. And it's got like these woven pieces. Let me put it back here into the back. You can't really see it on the camera, but it's just got this woven like these like pieces, and it's woven all through the back and on the sleeves. Again, you can't see it, but anyway, it's just nothing wrong with it, but you know, it's also wool, and I'm sitting here in California, and you know, the same Moschino tag, and I'm just like, and it's cool because it dangles. So don't get me wrong, I like it, but I don't love it. I'm not like jumping up and down, so I'm going to send that back. Now this thing I absolutely love, and I'm crushed I have to send it back because the condition is not good. And for the amount of money this thing is, and from where I got it, I know that I just have to be patient to find it in good condition. But the back of this coat is what sold me. Got a big handprint on the back, right? Super cool. And then the front, you know, has got like all the way down the front. You know, I don't mind the little beads, but the condition on the inside, the lining is really worn. And they did a lot of sweating in this. It's just really kind of, you know, it's just worn out on the inside. And so I have a problem with that for the amount of money it is. And then this skirt, it's a suit, so it has a matching skirt. Super cute. Nothing wrong with that. Again, it's just the inside, like the lining, just all kind of puckered, and I don't know. I mean, the way you can tell if a garment's been worn is look inside of it. Look at the inside lining, and that's going to show you how much stress it's had. And this, plus it's a newer tag, Moschino Couture. So this is a newer piece. So that's something that's going to be coming up for sale more easily. So that's going to go back because it's just too worn out. But it's super cool, and I love the handprint, and I would give anything to keep it. But I've got to really keep my standards really high for this vintage stuff because I'm asking a lot of money for it. And so I can't justify something in that condition and getting a lot of money for it. So, Flippin' Hustler, does that require a petticoat? It does not, because it's already in there. It's already inside. So it just requires a young woman to slip it on and have a party. Love the pants and other. Yeah, it is Gwen Stefani, absolutely. And the shorts are very Gwen Stefani. That's true. I hadn't thought about it, but Gwen Stefani is very much a Moschino girl in how she dresses, even though we don't really see her wearing the brand. I know Katy Perry wears it a lot, but I haven't seen that. So yeah. So those are things I'm sending back in the mail. I bought those online. So again, that's a lot of the online. So these are my favorites. The shorts. Those are, for the young girl who has the body for that and the legs for that. That's super cute. And I love this in the back. That's totally different. So yeah. So that is Key Lime Kiss has left. Her husband called. So what else we want to talk about in the Ask Me Anything? Sorry about that. I will have to rewatch a little. You're gonna rewatch. That's a real compliment. That absolutely is. So I was just showing the Moschino pieces I'm sending back because I'm just like about it. And at this point, if I can't get really excited and jump up and down, I don't want it. And it's really hard to edit yourself because vintage Moschino is so hard to come by. It's very tempting to buy pieces that are great, but not fantastic, if that makes sense. So I want to buy things that are fantastic, amazing, and I have a physical reaction when I look at them. And so that is a very hard bar to reach because I enjoy the act of finding and acquiring, and of course selling them is always always good too. As a matter of fact, when I had some people in my showroom this morning and we were looking at everything and they were just admiring all of the pieces. And I said, they're like, you should just have a clothing museum. And I'm like, yeah, I would love to, not like antique, but if you could, and not just an exhibition, like a permanent place people could go and see all these amazing pieces that have come out over all the years. Just admire them. They don't need to buy them. They just need to be able to look at them and appreciate them. So yeah. So Key Lime, do you have any other questions? Because I've been on for 57 minutes talking about nothing. Besides, Flippin' Hustler, this is past his bedtime from what I understand. So anyway, you guys were awesome. So awesome to listen to me tonight and be part of my live stream. And what I'm going to do is try to get on in the mornings so that more people can watch. I absolutely agree that this is too late for a lot of people. And I do not know the demographics of the people who have subscribed. So I'm going to work on that. Let's see. Sorry about that. I will have to. No, and I won't keep typing. I know it gets old hearing me. And it doesn't get old because you're the only one asking questions. I got a couple of questions out of Flippin' Hustler, but we'll see. We'll see. So yeah, so thank you for being a part of my live chat. I don't have a schedule for these. I don't anticipate having a schedule. Yeah, it is past your bedtime. I'm not going to do a schedule for these because I don't think I could adhere to a schedule. So I will try to get on earlier, and hopefully if I get on earlier, there'll be more people who'll be able to watch. But if you like what you've heard today and want to encourage me to keep doing this, all you got to do is subscribe, leave a comment. I mean, if you have any topics you want me to cover, just put a comment in the comment section, and be sure to hit that little bell icon so you can hear when I'm going to go live, because I'm going to be doing more of that. So thank you, Key Lime Kisses. Thank you, Flippin' Hustler, for being here. I really appreciate you being part of the chat, and anyone else who may be watching this. Thank you so much. This is Jennie Walker, stylist and owner of JennieGirls Closet here in Pasadena, California, and co-owner of Walker Viden Luxury Consignment. Until next time, good night. Talk to you soon.